When the Minnesota Vikings pulled off the blockbuster trade to bring in edge rusher Yannick Ngakoue from Jacksonville last Monday, everyone and their mom was just like, oh, just getting Christmas toys on Christmas morning. You just want to ride it till the wheels fall off. No. The Vikings should ease Yannick into his role, even though it's going to be a big role, but the first couple weeks the Vikings should definitely work 91 in. So yes, Yannick is a physical specimen and has been keeping himself in elite shape despite the coronavirus, despite minimal training camp, despite all this and that. But as we've seen around the league, I mean, there is a big difference between in shape as well as NFL game shape. Like there's things. And also, there'll be absolutely nothing worse than to overwork him week one, his first game, then all of a sudden alien abduction, he pops a hammy, then he misses 6 games, and then is touch and go the rest of the season. I mean that would be a waste. It would be a waste of $12 million and a waste of a second and conditional 5th round pick. It would. So F all that. So even though Danielle Hunter still dealing with his tweak, which will be nice, we'll get an update on this Wednesday when the Vikings actually have to file the first practice report. And here's what's going to happen. So the injury report will come out about Wednesday practice, then Zimmer will get asked about it, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, hey, talk to Sugarman about injuries. Thanks, Zim, yes. But also, you look at Yannick, even though that Daniil is dinged up, I think that Yannick should be used situationally as well as sparingly, at least for the first couple weeks out of the gate. And yes, even though his role is primarily, hey, get the quarterback, I mean, he still has really only been in the building for 6 practices. Well, he will only be in the building for 6 practices before he takes on the Packers US Bank Stadium on Sunday. So even though he is cramming in meetings as well as in his free time, like how integrated is he going to be into this defense right away? So how many snaps? So just look at the numbers. Vikings had an average of 68.3 defensive snaps last year per game. Could round up, but yeah. All right, so 68. The last 3 years in Jacksonville, Yannick has played 75.17, 74.8, and 74.1% of the snaps with the Jacksonville Jaguars each of the last 3 years, respectively. And then comparison-wise, Daniil played 80.7% of the Viking snaps last year, so 4/5. Yannick about a 75% player, 3/4. So he does like being on the field, not quite as much as the true blue do-it-all Danielle Hunter, but that's perfectly fine. He's very well suited in what he does, which is get the passer. So if you go by his numbers in a vacuum, you would think Yannick should be on the field for 51 snaps on Sunday. 75% of 68 is about 51. I don't see it happening for a couple reasons. Like towards the end of the season, yes. I mean, Yannick will be getting on the field 50 plus snaps per game. I don't see it happening on Sunday. And frankly, I don't really want to see it. So even with Daniil tweaked, the Vikings should not be tempted to overuse number 91 because let's face it, it would be a real waste of him in clear running spots. So like 1st and 10, 2nd and 11. Meh. I mean, that's what you have Fadi and Jalen Holmes for. Because even if you do take it easy with Daniil, Jalen Holmes had the best camp of his life. He could easily fill in some of those rundowns, as well as Fadi Odenigbo, despite being a bit of an undersized edge rusher, just like Yannick, has proven that he's phenomenal against the run, both inside and out. And yes, I do think that Yannick plays 30 to 35 snaps on Sunday, mostly in passing situations, as well as on both sides, because if Daniil is out the field, Yannick has proved that he's pretty ambidextrous, rushing both against the right tackle and left tackle. So take on Bakhtiari, that's fine. You can take on Billy Turner if he ends up starting a right tackle. He's been dealing with injury. Or, of course, Ricky Wagner. But I like how Ricky Wagner purposely tanked his training camp so he didn't start for the Packers, so he didn't have to face Daniil, because of all the bad things that Daniil has done to him when he was in Detroit. Whatever. But yeah, I know that people may be freaking out. It's like, you paid $12 million and gave up a bunch of draft picks for a guy who's going to play 30 snaps? Yes. Because you don't want to overwork him, and also you want to keep him fresh throughout the rest of the year. He doesn't know the full defense yet, as well as you can just use him situationally in what he's good at, right? Yeah, you really want Yannick out there just like, hey, you got to stop the run. That's not what he does. He gets the passer. It is a passer and get the passer league. Yannick does extremely well at what is extremely important. So I think that 91 will get out there, get like 4 or 5 pressures. He'll get himself a sack. He'll light up historic U.S. Bank Stadium. All the fake crowd noise, all the lights going off, all the fans outside watching the game, all the thousands of fans watching the game outside at Commons Park. Woo! Skull. Yeah, so Yannick could and frankly should be a rotational piece, especially definitely week 1. Say conceivably for at least a month, the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. And so if that happens, don't freak out. I think it's smart, both for the Vikings, both for Yannick, both for the long term. Let's get it going. It's football on Sunday. Woo! All right, so your thoughts. Yannick Ngakoue, how many snaps are you going to play on Sunday? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull something to Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.